Hello, everybody, and welcome to Crypto Talk Now live with Maximus. This is the segment of getting ready for the bull run in a bear market, part two. And also, I thought I'd give you guys a heads up that Larry is actually not going to be around for tonight. He's taking care of some personal business matters that need to be addressed. And with that said, we're going to have a great show. Going to talk about, of course, what's going on with the overall crypto market, how to recognize certain type of opportunities in this bear market. But without further ado, before we get into those things, let's say hello to our wonderful Crypto Talk Now network audience, starting off with the one, the only Larry, by all means, is Larry. He says, let's roll. Congratulations, Larry. You win absolutely nothing. All right, next up we have Selmo Fudd, who always does this right here. Right back at you, Selmo. Brian Dowie, giving everybody hello. All right, that's great to see everybody. Ninja Star, I think, yeah. Okay, that's definitely Jeff Pruden. Good to see you, Jeff, a.k.a. Ninja, a.k.a. Wall. All right. You guys all saying hello. That's great. There's an announcement. Tonight's after show has next 5 chicken dinner winners. Edward Vincent is at Home Depot. Shout out, y'all. All right. Thank you for that. If you guys are interested in what he's talking about, you got to start watching Crypto Talk Now VR. It's one of our sister stations, and you can learn more about how you can actually win some Chick-fil-A. So shout out to Edward Vincent, Badir, and the CTN VR family. All right, Crypto Crackhead. Ha ha ha, bull run. More like dead cat bounce. 12.5K by the end of December, then to 7.5K. Most of the altcoins will be on life support. Wait until at least January to dollar cost average. Otherwise, just burn your money. Okay, fair enough. But the title is preparing for the bull run in a bear market. I'm not stating that there is a bull market right now. So just throwing that out there. Mike Cornwell says, yo, let's see here. At Crypto Crackhead, sounds about right because 2023 will be the year of XRP. Watch and see. Crypto Crackhead, I've said it from the first time I commented on your show. The only thing I see with a lot of long-term potential is XRP. Bitcoin will shine, just not right now. Hell, Bitcoin could be at 400,000 in 5 years. Okay, fair enough. Bull Run Ready, a.k.a. Lee Figueroa. What's up, Max? Good to see you, Lee. I actually was wondering about you the other day. Glad to see you back. Tim Shea, giving love to Selmo. Mr. Lambos. What's up, CTM fam? Good to see you. All right, we have quite a few of our regulars in here. That's great. And let's see here. Yes, by all means, hit the like button. It definitely does help with the YouTube algorithm. And so without further ado, we're going to actually just start the show here momentarily. All right, going to go ahead and share this with you. All right, so some of you guys already checked this, some of you haven't. Whatever the case be, it's okay. Let me see, making sure that I'm okay. All right, and that is the overall crypto market cap is at 940 billion. That's for the global crypto market cap. This is, of course, all over the place. It says it's currently 0.05%, but it was a lot more red a lot earlier today. Of course, it's just the average. Of course, Bitcoin and especially XRP is trending. Ethereum is trending in a negative aspect, right? Looking at the overall crypto market, of course, the big players, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin sitting at 19,191. I do remember earlier in the day, and so do you. This was actually in, or at, I should say, the 18,000 some odd mark. Ethereum also was way down as well, maybe into the early 1300s. I could have sworn it said like 1295 at some point, but I could be mistaken. So that's what's going on with that. On the 1 hour chart for the top 100, let's take a look. Doge up 1.82%, sitting at 6.5 cents, doing decent for this 24 hour. And it's, of course, top 10. So on the 24 hours, up 8.36%. Actually, it's up more than that. Just launched up 2 more percent since just talking to you guys. On the 7 days, up 9.5%. So some interesting things maybe going on for Dogecoin. A little bit more. Axie Infinity, of course, was a big player for last year, sitting at $13.50, up about close to 10%. Shiba Inu is doing okay. Kronos is doing all right. Should say more than all right, especially on that 24 hour. We're always talking about Quant, sitting at 6% for the 24 hour. Speaking of which, let's see what's going on for the top 20, the top 100 for the 24 hour chart. And of course, we'll do a little segment on Kronos here in a bit. And of course, that's up, like I mentioned, 14% for the 24 hour and about 16% for the 7-day chart. It's worthy of a mention. Some of these other ones, XDC up 8%, 7-day chart about close to 15%. Another ISO 222 compliant, Algorand about 7%, up about 31% on the 7-day. Quant doing pretty decent. I mean, anything I would say even 4% for Quant is kind of significant because of the price per coin. And of course, we know what's going on with XRP. Helium's been kind of holding its own. I've been looking more and more in helium as of lately, especially when it comes to the mining. All right. And let me see if there's any other ones. IOTA, you guys are always talking about that one in regards to some of your top picks for ISO 222. All right. So let's get more into it. Let's take a look just briefly at the this watch list I have. And for instance, I mean, some of you guys might be tempted to get the Time Wonderland. Me personally, I'm just not going to bother with it. I hold some VVS Finance. I know some of you guys do as well. I did the stake and forget a long time ago. Excuse me. There's some other ones I want to definitely point out just for a moment. I believe it was Cool Cat Crypto mentioned GBEX. I think a while back, and of course, it's 8 of my favorites. That one's up slightly, and that's about it in regards to the ones that are doing decent, I should say. Now, let's see if there's anything like really significant that's on sale, if you will. For instance, it was noted, I got a notification, believe it or not, from KuCoin about Clearpool. I covered Clearpool. I've done with 35 videos for them. Of course, not paid or anything like that. It's just basically, where I started out in my, Maximus Crypto channel. My first videos were literally on Clearpool. But anyway, I got a notification from KuCoin letting people know that Clearpool is just, one of the top performers. I'm really glad to see that they did, pretty decent compared to where this was at. Roughly around the 2 or 3 cent mark. This is up to about 7.5 cents. So that's really, really good for them. I think we even saw as high as 8 cents recently. And yeah, just a little bit more. Some of you guys, of course, are thinking about getting back into Voyager. I'm thinking about getting back into Voyager, so on and so forth. All right. So let's address what's going on with Kronos. And then after we'll do that, we'll go ahead and kick it back into the comments. So, like you see right here, Crypto.com, coin traders beware, reality is about to kick in. This is an article that came straight from FX Street from this particular person, Philip L. And this was published today, and it states a few key highlights. Crypto.com coin, aka CRO, price action rallies over 10% intraday on Friday. CRO price, however, could start to see a fade and full collapse as the dollar makes new highs against almost every G10 currency. Expect a delayed effect in cryptocurrencies with CRO price torn between equity buyers and bears trading the dollar strength. Crypto.com coin, aka CRO, price action has had an eventful 48 hours thus far as the central bank bonanza impacted almost every facet of the financial markets. Whipsaw moves, interventions not seen in over 2 decades, and a low in pound sterling that takes us back, of course, to the Black Wednesday of 1992 have each taken their toll. All the elements are there to make this a roller coaster ride for traders who could easily wipe out whole portfolios in just one trading session if inexperienced. And basically, we haven't seen a lot of things going on with CRO for quite some time. Um, so for me personally, CRO was my top 3 performer for 2021. You guys, for the most part, already know the story of what I did with SHIB and Doge. But CRO really did well for me. Basically took 1,700 and was able to get a little over 10 grand at the end when everything was said and done. Of course, that was around the times of all-time highs. We haven't seen that for basically almost a year. Excuse me. But, at the same time, it's always good to pay attention to what's going on with CRO. Of course, I've been staking for the longest time. You may have your own reasons, whether it's, with the native app of crypto.com, or if you actually did the whole thing with the crypto.com DeFi app, right? So a little bit more on this. It says CRO price at risk of full fade back to open. Crypto.com coin price has been affected by all these events, but has not made much of an effort to fight the trend. In the Asia Pacific trading, however, markets rallied as equities tried to pare back losses from the past few days. Bulls jumped on a rally that pushed CRO price above 12 cents towards a little over that mark at 12.19 and printed over 10% gains at one point. We, of course, saw this recently as low as 10 cents. You might have been able to catch it like for momentarily, like, maybe for an hour or two at a little bit lower than 10, late 9-cent mark. CRO price, however, is still at risk of pulling back to either 11 cents or even, of course, 9 cents and leaving bulls out in the cold, or at least the ones who want to join the rally and will be in for a negative surprise at the end of the day. During the European trading hours, the greenback has put its foot back on the gas pedal as traders assess the panic in Japan, China doing nothing to support the yuan, and the BOE almost fighting over what to do next, making the dollar and the Fed the most credible and safest place to be right now. Expect a possible negative daily and weekly close as CRO price fails to withstand the stronger dollar close weighing on its valuation. Now, of course, we can look more into this for you guys, kind of just blowing it up a little bit. Not incredibly hard to follow, right? But you know what? The way I personally look at it is, even if it did pull back further, I mean, you might want to look into CRO again. I get it, it hasn't been too exciting, especially in this bearish market that we're in. But again, part of the whole topic is preparing for the bull market and a bear market. Despite what some people may say, a lot of times people don't get it correctly when it comes to guessing bottom. I would say 9 times out of 10 they're going to get it wrong, right? But sometimes people get it right. But if anything, for me personally, I'd rather come close to dollar cost averaging into what could be close to the bottom than going in the other way, right? So this right here, should the rally persist and the dollar fade a bit going into the U.S. session, expect the rally to be capped on the top side with the 55-day simple moving average providing credible resistance. Limited gains are forecasted at ground of 0.1275. From there, the risk is too big for a firm rejection or a false break and bull trap forming before the weekend. Again, it kind of puts some focus, I guess you could say, when it comes to the whole idea of day trading or swing trading. Me personally, I mean, I'm into CRO for the long term. I still really believe in it. I think at some point in the future, it could bypass Binance, but I don't think it's going to happen like, overnight by any means. But, maybe a couple of years down the road, maybe 3, something like that. That's just how I feel about it. I felt that way for the longest time. I've said that numerous times. One more thing I want to point out before I get a little bit more into this is we're going to be talking briefly about Luna Classic as well. But with that said, let's take a moment, of course, to recognize the community again, maybe with some recent comments. And here we go. So let's see. We do have a few more people who join us, which is really, really good. Ninja Star, aka Jeff Pruden. Hey, I'm supposed to say that. What, the wall? Yeah, you and your kung fu, right? All right. Or ninjutsu. I don't know. Maybe a combination of both. Maybe you're skilled in both. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Yes, by all means, do that. Especially in this day and age, a lot of people, we don't get the bigger numbers as we used to. And I would say mainly because, it's just, the bear market and whatnot, but that's okay. The numbers definitely will go up in the bull market. I know it. Bull run ready. My wife said I focused too much on crypto, so I had to take a break. Yeah, that's understandable, but nonetheless, it's really good to see you again, Lee, aka Bull Run Ready. And everybody has to take care of their family needs and whatnot. So, I hear you where you're coming from. But I'm really glad to see you. Your familiar face. Good to see you again. Michael Cornwell, she will like spending that money when you are a millionaire, though. Yeah, of course. That's how it goes. Crypto Crackhead, hey, buddy, I wasn't trying to say you were wrong or contradict you. I just see a lot of channels saying we are on the bottom, which is scary for people who buy now. No, I wasn't thinking that you were trying to say much. Maybe it came across the wrong way. I apologize. All right. How about this? We will each give each other the benefit of the doubt. It's just, how it goes sometimes. Like sometimes some people will see like a thumbnail, like this particular one, and they just get the quick gist of it, and they'll think that I'm trying to say something. So I was just kind of trying to reiterate that. So I apologize if I came across maybe a little, I don't know, get my tail feathers bent or something. But you've been a long time regular, so yeah, my bad if it came across the wrong way. But yeah, thank you for clarifying that, Crypto Crackhead. We do appreciate you. I appreciate you. And we'll just give each other the benefit of the doubt. Okay, sounds good. All right, Legrand Commission. Hi, Max. Hi, everyone. Glad to see you, Legrand. I guess we're losing some people. Maybe some other show going on as we speak. I don't know. Hey, Legrand. Let's see. Ninja Star. I got to work on a 370Z earlier today. It was blankety blank amazing. Nice. Very cool to see that. Ninja Star, giving love to Legrand. Mr. Lambo's Crypto Talk. The fact that Quant is holding this level and actually trickling up in this bear market says a lot about its strong potential. I think you're absolutely right. And in that regard, also, when it comes to a lot of these other ISOs, right, they're doing well as we speak. I mean, XRP obviously is the big one, but I'm glad you mentioned Quant. We mentioned IOTA a little bit earlier. Algorand was doing especially well last night, even today. I didn't see much about XLM doing well compared to yesterday, but anything ISO related was doing pretty well for the last couple of days, and that's really, really cool. All right, Mike Cornwell, with ISO going live soon and all the utility stuff firing up, claim to know what the market is going to do by TNA isn't going to happen. Trillions will flow. Yeah, that's a good point. It's not just going to be like technical anything in that regard. So I think trillions will flow in because it's just doing a better job of some people say it's replacing Swift, but it's not really replacing Swift. It's an upgrade of Swift. Swift is not going away. I think some people don't understand that. Like I know you understand that, but I think some people, for the most part, they don't understand that. Like they will use the wrong I guess you could say, terminology on how this explain is Swift is going to be here. They're too big to not be here, and if anything, it's just like anything, like back in the was it the 80s and even the 90s and so on, go your computer infrastructure having a big upgrade for your business, multiple businesses out there, right? And then taking that giant leap to from whatever that was at the time before the internet, right? And then going to web 1. Web 2 in itself was huge. Whether you're really into this tech stuff, right? JavaScript. I mean, think about that in itself. If you know about JavaScript, it's like without JavaScript, I don't think social media would have been as huge as it was, right? Um, you saw things, for instance, like the videos you see on YouTube, or just even me being here, anything like that, right? That's all JavaScript originally, and without that, I mean, it's like the pioneers of Web 2. I mean, it's like, yeah, we always talk about Web 3 right now, but it's those steps, to say the least. So the way I look at it is, you know, the digital ledger. Everybody wants to get on that digital ledger. That's where the switch gets turned on, and like you said, the trillions will flow in. Excuse me. Now, if you guys hear me coughing, is for ones that are not used to it, I've been having this cough for quite a while. And on top of that, you know what? Basically, it's like I can't seem to get rid of it. And some of you guys have posted or said, in the comments, that you are more comfortable with me coughing than accidentally hitting the mute button. So that's where we're going. All right, a little bit more. Okay. So Mike Cornwell, I tell her that all the time. Okay, you're talking to him. My bad. Mike Cornwell says he's dumping, working 50 hours a week when a week when I hit cryptos will be all worth it. Let's see if there's anything going on with my mic or something. I mean, we should have a lot more people watching. I mean, I know that's just the it's the weekend and so on, but like our numbers are way, way down. I don't know what's going on. If somebody else is having a live show probably right now, but it's all right. We'll get through it. Venom Hemi, we're in Hellcat, 2 or 5 years. Yeah, you know what? That's a good way to look at it. Everybody's doing the Win Lambo. For you, it's Win Hellcat. I like that. But then again, you got it right in your name, right? Venom Hemi. That makes sense. Bear market sucks, but I understand this is the time for stacking. Yeah, it is. I just, like a lot of us, right? It's like, for me personally, it's like, oh man, start off, doing like, I don't know, 25K roughly at the beginning of the year, reinvesting into crypto. And then I did like, I was just like, you know what? I'm going all out. I'm gonna do like 52K. And then I did even more than that. And it's just like, at the end of the day, I should have probably saved a big chunk of it for like, May 12th, 13th, after the depegging of UST. Even in June, we saw it crash. Like that was technically bottom for the year. And then some other things that happened, and I was able to, of course, do some of that to a degree, but not to the extent that I wanted to. Shout out, of course, to those who basically did that. You guys have been around even longer than me when it comes to this whole crypto thing. But you know what? It's a great learning experience for myself. You may have a similar story, but if anything, we all have a different story on how we go about it, and it's how we learn from that. And it's very useful because, in the future, my attitude would be like, I know how to go about this a little bit better. And I don't consider it a complete waste. Just kind of like, it's a weird analogy, but kind of like, people that just like they fail and fail and fail, like whether it's sports or I don't know, whatever their passion is or something like that, but they learn from that and they get better at that to kind of perfect their craft. All right. Bull run ready. Lee Figueroa. CZ kind of ruined my day. Yeah, we'll get into a little bit of that too here in a little bit. I know what you mean by that. I'm just going to read a little more comments. Mr. Lambo. Yeah, what's up with CZ? Some say he's trying to manipulate by stalling. I don't know what to think at this point. It's hard to say. My thing is it's just mainly like them trying to time everything. You know what I mean? Like from a business perspective. But it is very hard to say. All right. Jeff Pruden, aka Wall Ninja Star. That's a good subject. Finance with a B, a big fat B in CZ's face. Today's message from that company was they are going to implicate an opt-in button, and if 25% of the people opt in on their platform, hold on, and if 25% of the people opt in on their platform, okay, I'm not reading that 100% right. They're going to implicate the 1.2% burn. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We got that on the snippet. But anyway, it says that they previously promised on the classic. Jeff says that he's very disappointed in CZ and his whole company. I'll turn on this fan. It's going to get hot here. And what they are doing, they're the first big company. Okay. Man, you got a lot of comments. That's fine. To come out and say they were going to work with the company with the burns, and then they spit in your face. Very disappointed. The company right now, at 25% of people don't opt into that. We will not get the burns on Luna Classic like we want, and it will take 1,000 years to burn down to 10 billion coins. Very disappointing day for Luna Classic holders. I think we're still going to get there, but yeah, I mean, everybody wants everything to kind of flow a certain way. But it's all right. Don't be sorry ever. Jeff Pruitt says he's sorry. He's using voice tech while driving. So if anything looks weird, he apologizes. It's fine. I'd rather you do that than texting and driving, right? But thank you for the intel, man. We always appreciate you. Mr. Lambo's Crypto Talk, prudent. It's going to be hard to find 1 out of 4 investors not to be greedy. And he's doing the Somo FUD thing with the tier. All right, let's get back into the some of these things from Luna Classic. Let's talk about briefly. And let's see. All right. So, I think it's right here actually. Yep. So this is how you guys. I'm not even making sense right now. Sorry. You know how you guys talk about the whole 1.2% burn? Well, Classic Crypto came out with this earlier, and sometimes I like to just share what he posts because why not? I mean, he does a great job of posting breaking news and whatnot. Also, Crypto King, who he's good friends with. So it said breaking news at CZ Binance will be adding the Luna Classic burn if 50% of the trading volume is with the new opt-in of the 1.2% Luna Classic burn feature. Listen to this. States, this is our time to prove ourselves. Retweet to spread the word. And here it is right here. I'm going to zoom in a little more. This is a nice zoom in. I thought you did a good job of doing that. So shout out to Classy for this. It says step 1, we will implement an opt-in button for people to opt in to pay the 1.2% tax for their Luna Classic trading. We know most of this, right? So I'm not going to read all this. But, of course, where he highlights step 3, I think this is good to mention this just in case you don't know. I know some of you guys are like hardcore into this. Some of you aren't. But for the ones who aren't, this is the main thing that Classy posted that he highlighted, which I thought was good. Step 3, when the opt-in traders reach 50% of the total Luna Classic trading volume on Binance, we will roll out the 1.2% trading tax for all Luna Classic trading. This prevents large Luna Classic whales who may hold large amounts but don't actively trade to influence votes. So it's worthy of a mention. A shout out to Classy Crypto once again for posting this. I like that. I think I just hit the wrong button, so I apologize for that. I'm going to share the screen one more time. Let's get to the next part. And let me just see I'm not muted. All right. Again, breaking news again. Once again from Classy Crypto. You did a good job with this. Breaking news. You know how we're always talking about MEXC? Well, listen to this. MEXC Global is once again supporting the 1.2% Luna Classic burn tax off chain. It's like, they were the most passionate about helping the community originally. And of course, we got the bad news a few days ago. I think was it 2 days ago? Not exactly yesterday's show. It had been the day before that where they decided to no longer support the off-chain burns. And now they kind of flip-flopped and came back. Why is that? Well, my thing could be that they noticed a lot of people are like, hey, you know what? To heck with you, MEXC. I'm going to move, things. They could basically track all that, right? any big centralized exchange can track and see, what's going on. If they got a lot of Luna Classic being moved out of these wallets to like other exchanges and so on, well, it's easy for them to put two and two together. So I'm glad that they went ahead and supported the off-chain again, because that's what made them stand out originally, because they did both on-chain and off-chain, right? But it goes on to mention that they will begin pushing for Mexi, or he will begin pushing as a classic crypto, and of course a lot of other influencers, right? We will begin pushing for Mexi as long as they support us as in what? The Luna Classic community. Of course, you can retweet and spread the word a little bit more. There's a little bit more on this right here that mentions all that. Just a little bit more. Breaking news from Binance CEO, which is CZ. Details about that 1.2% tax burn. It says all we want is to reduce the supply at 10 billion, right? So I'm going to zoom in a little bit more on that. Obviously some of you guys know this original quote where it says, will Binance support the Luna Classic burn on 1.2% for every trade on Binance? It says, I got this question on my Twitter space today, spoke for a few minutes about it, but I want to take some time to answer this more in depth and actions we will take. A while back, I was asked about the Luna Classic burn on Twitter and responded that the project needs to implement it on chain first. Of course, we heard a lot about this. States, underline though, my comment was simply that as a business, remember I was mentioning before about the whole thing from a business perspective. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's not just pleasing the community. It's they have a business to run. Not defending it. I'm just stating that's just a given. So again, my comment was simply that as a business, we wouldn't even consider implementing something that isn't done on the protocol level first. Now let's consider it. Goes on a little bit more. Taxes on centralized exchanges, for instance. It says if Binance charged 1.2% per transaction, I don't think we would burn very much because most classic traders would go to other exchanges that don't have the burn. I could be wrong. Of course, that's just his perspective. Let's not get all crazy. And then last, some of this. Step 1, we will implement an opt-in button for people to opt in to pay a 1.2% tax for their Luna Classic trading. Step 2, when the opt-in accounts reach a holding of 25% of the total Luna Classic held on Binance, they're going to start to charge a 1.2% tax for all opt-in traders when they trade Luna Classic. And of course, I think that's what everybody wants for the most part. Like, we want to be like across the board where it's all opt-in traders, not oh, you got to trade this way, or oh, it's got to be that way, or oh, this is only for on-chain, or oh, this is only for off-chain, or well, we're gonna do the off-chain in a couple weeks. Like it needs to be across the board, right? So there's that, and of course there's a little bit more details in regards to all this, like where it says right here, it says this prevents people who don't hold in Classic to affect the votes. It also gives early adopters peace of mind that they are not the only few paying an extra 1.2%. The tax only kicks in at 25% quorum. This should encourage them to opt in more easily. Of course, there's step 3, which mentions when the opt-in traders reach 50% of the total Luna Classic trading volume on Binance, they will roll out the 1.2% trading tax for all Luna Classic trading. Again, all Luna Classic trading. Okay, I think that's the key thing we should look more into. And then, of course, the last part. This prevents large Luna Classic whales who may hold large amounts but don't actively trade to influence the votes. Right? So at least they're trying to address the whole thing with Luna Classic whales and what they may be, of course, be doing. And of course, like that last part, I'm gonna reiterate again. Basically the whales that don't actively trade to influence votes. And I'm glad that got underlined, highlighted, whatever you want to call it, but it's addressed. All right, we've got to kick it back to the comments for a bit. Then we're going to show you guys just a little bit in regards to XRP. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. Before we get into that, let's see. All right, Lee Figueroa, aka Bull Run Ready, 25% at this price is approximately 150 million. Mike Cornwell, they have to get the button working as well. Yeah. Bull Run Ready, I see us opting in, and the whales will benefit from it by not opting in and using us. Yeah, we're tired of being used. Especially when it came to that whole thing a couple weeks ago, maybe, I don't know, was it last week or was it 2 weeks? I can't remember. But the whole thing of what happened with Luna or Terra 2.0, right? So you had, Luna Classic whales basically, dumping off great big positions and then putting it right back into the 2.0. And then, we saw that basically like twice. So I'm kind of done for the most part, seeing, whale manipulation or whatever you want to call it. And I do like the idea that they're somewhat addressing it. And, we're now seeing things basically being highlighted, like here's how this is going to affect this thing with the whales and so on. Before, it was just kind of like hearsay, oh, this is what we're thinking about doing. Now we actually got some solid things about how to, I guess you could say, combat that, right? Anyway, all the way Inu, Trip Network equals passive income. Okay, haven't seen you before. Like to welcome you all the way Inu. you know, Thank you for having a custom avatar. And guys, make sure you give them a warm welcome here at Crypto Talk Now. Day trading, as Larry would say, the AI. Short XRP, high IM, AI. Okay. I don't think I'll be doing that, but you know what? We all have our own reasons, and that might work out for it. All right. Edward Vincent, Max. I'm very sorry that I'm late. What did I miss in 30 seconds? Oh, geez. Larry's not here. He has to take care of personal business. Basically, there's some things going on with Luna Classic. People are disappointed with the whole thing with CZ, saying, basically, how are we going to get to, burn this thing down to 10 billion if you're going to act like this? And some people feel as though that it's going to be a long time till we get into the bull market. We're talking a little bit, of course, about Luna Classic with the burns, so on and so forth. Classic Crypto put out some breaking news alerts. We just addressed that. And now we're just basically reading the comments, and we're going to talk about XRP here in a bit. So that's about the gist. All right. Edward Vincent saying what's up to everybody, which is great. And let's kick it back into the actual news once again. All right, here we go. Excuse me. So, let me see here. I think I had it. Yeah, here we go. So, I saw this earlier, and I thought this was pretty big. Some of you guys probably already know about this, but this announcement I thought really stood out compared to the other snippets. Me, I mean, sometimes I'll post a full article, and a lot of times I'll read a lot of it verbatim. A lot of times I'll just summarize it. And of course, there's this, that I love doing with you guys, which is just like these snippets because it's right to the point. A lot of times it's like community-driven news. And a lot of times the community-driven news snippets end up being like the best, in my opinion. But teach his own. So this comes from The Light Shines in the Darkness, which is at Matthew Linney. You can follow him if you want. Shout out to this particular person who has almost 14,000 followers. He states, there looks to be an XRP Ledger node server setup offered on Amazon Web Services. Now, how cool is that? Now, another thing I want to point out is this. We, of course, talk about Quant quite a bit as well, right? And if you think about what Quant brings to the table, I mean, yeah, basically their unofficial slogan, not these exact words, but I mean, they do technically have an official statement. But, it's connecting the world, right? Interoperability, okay? So if you guys remember, whether it's, from little snippets that Mike Cornwell posted, or heck, even me with some of my recorded content, right? But one thing we pointed out was, on the API side, right? So Amazon Web Services was one of the things that Quant had going on with them. And I thought that was really, really cool because, they have so many positive catalysts. Uh, it's just, it's like a grocery list, right? But then, of course, you think of another ISO, which of course is XRP. And then you also see this. So again, if you're just tuning in, like it says right here, there looks to be an XRP Ledger node server setup offered on Amazon Web Services. And that is super cool. Now, a little bit more into this. I want to zoom in. And like you see right here, it says, why XRP Ledger node server? And it says, think about what XRP is to begin with, right? Like lightning fast, like a laser beam, right? So yeah, fast, efficient consensus algorithm, synchronized with the network in minutes. Project overview or product overview, right? No longer a project anymore, right? XRP Ledger is provisioned with all the resources for you to set up and manage your own blockchain node server on the Amazon Web Services AWS cloud. The XRP Ledger is a decentralized cryptographic ledger powered by a network of peer-to-peer servers. This ledger supports an exchange for transacting other assets and decentralized payments. And even though this is like a very small part of what you see right here, it gets to the point. I've actually used an older version of Amazon Web Services, of course, long before crypto, right? And so, you may not think, well, it's that big of a deal. It is a very, very big deal. Me personally, I've been invested into BTT, BitTorrent token, for, I don't know, over a year now. Shout out to Legrand, who actually, got into it like way before me and of course saw all-time highs. A lot of people actually did well with that. But I mean, put that aside, BTT in itself is just not really doing all that great, but it will get back to there. And my thing is this, right? You're starting to see certain things like this, for instance, with Amazon, right? So this is a huge positive catalyst for the likes of XRP, right? But even though Amazon is not officially crypto, it's a positive catalyst for them in itself because they're providing a faster service. Now, for me, when I think of like the likes of BTT, this is the point I'm trying to make with BTT is like, even years before, BTT became like a crypto and so on. I get it. They stand out for the whole thing of, I hate to say like piracy and whatnot, but at the same time, they do offer a legitimate service when it comes to what? File storage, right? So, there's that. And if you think about like some of how these services are set up, for instance, like BTT is very similar to a sense of some of the cloud services that you see from Amazon. And if anything, like, yeah, XRP went this route with Amazon, but can you imagine if like BTT had a partnership later on? I mean, I know it's a long shot, but just hear me out. With the likes of an XRP, like BTT would just, I would imagine that would be like probably the biggest catalyst for him ever. And it's just little things like that. It's like, that's the way I look at it personally. It's just, there's so much talk, of course, with NFTs, we talked about Polygon with the whole thing with, the NFT partnership, if you will, with Starbucks. And, that in itself is pretty big because Starbucks is a big name. But at the same time, it's how your crypto is doing as far as its utility. And this is just one of the countless things about the utility. All right, so let's go ahead and get back into the comments just for a brief moment. See if there's anything I missed. Edward Vincent and Max, this all sounds like great news. Thank you. And let's see here. Thank you so much, sir. You are the man. Well, thank you. And yeah, Edward. Okay. Well, I'm going to look into one more thing just for the overall crypto market. And let's see. I'm going to share it one more time. By the way, welcome to all those who are just connecting. And one thing we're going to just try to look into a little bit more is a little bit more on the top 100. We already talked about Kronos earlier. That was another thing you missed, Edward, was we talked about what's going on with Kronos and why it's doing well. So here's what's going on with the top 100. Of course, Filecoin's doing okay, right? We don't talk enough about Hedera H-bar. Maybe we should. I think the graph is still an absolute buy at this point at 10 cents, right? It's kind of like like we were talking about the whole thing of like the Google of crypto, if you will, like with the whole indexing. I'm just gonna double check my watch list real quick. And of course, the big one is Time Wonderland. I have to look into more what is going on with that, but I don't know. To me, it's too risky to get into. And of course, we're talking about Clearpool for a little bit. Man, Clearpool is up close to 10% for that 1 hour. So I have to see what's going on with Clearpool a little bit more. On 24 hour, we already did that. And let's just refresh it one more time. Maybe see if there's anything kind of standing out. Voyager may very well be standing out, especially if it's the tank more. If it went down to like 59 cents again, might be a good entry point because I really don't see it tanking down to 50 cents. I think that you have like a good support level, basically, anywhere from 59 to like what you see, 59 cents to 64 in that area. I covered Cali a long time ago. It's like an NFT project. I know you're like, Max covering NFT projects? That was a long time ago, but they have a good independent community. The problem is there's just not enough. It doesn't trend enough, but they really, they mean well. They just don't have enough people behind the project, but it's legit. I personally, I wouldn't even do an entry point at this point, even though, it's a low market cap. They've been around for a very long time, but it's just, when they have pumps, it's nothing too significant. I would love to see their community get more eyes on it because I don't know, like their marketing, what they're trying to do is pretty awesome. The thing is, they don't have enough people and enough of a community to kind of, get the ball rolling where it should be. All right. Another thing I wanted to point out, what was it? Yeah, USTC, right? So USTC has been down. Of course, it's about 5% down, sitting at about a little over 3 cents. I'm really thinking, of course, about Ravencoin again because I saw, where it was like a week or so ago, up to the 6 cents. I'm still thinking it's like a good buying opportunity. I know some people are like, well, is it? Because, the whole ETH merge thing just kind of been fizzling out. But yeah, I still feel as though it's a good entry point, especially preparing for that bull run. Just give you a heads up on what I mean. So last year, especially, right? We saw about a year ago today, not exactly today, but roughly a year ago, 15 cents for Ravencoin. Here, of course, was the all-time highs. So April of 2021, sitting at about almost 24 cents. And then a few months before that, like 2 months before, it was 22 cents. So, I mean, literally went from like the first real significant all-time high in 2021, which was February, right? Late February. Then literally like a month later, right around the same time, I pulled back a little bit, but back up to that. And of course, we saw about 24 cents before. And my thing is, again, it's kind of like preparing for that, the bull market, and everything that's going on with mining. Ravencoin really, really stands out right now if you're a miner because it's very attractive. You don't have to have an ASIC miner. You don't have to, feel like, you have to have ASIC miner and take it over to the likes of, Ethereum Classic because that's the only ETH that's proof of work that's still out there. No, you don't have to do that. If you happen to be a miner, I would highly recommend looking more into Ravencoin. It's not financial advice, but just looking at it from a miner perspective. Let me see, just a couple more. Let me get back in the comments, and I don't know what we're going to do from there. We might wrap up the show. It's just kind of like really low numbers tonight. And we'll try again, of course, tomorrow. But let's see here. I do still feel as though XCAD, I had to look a little bit more into it. I did a decent amount of research, but I really want to do a full dive into it. But I've seen XCAD do very, very well, even in this bear market. Of course, it's on the Zilliqa blockchain. But the whole concept of watch to earn, basically what you guys are already doing, if they could just finally get some of these things done to bring more utility to this, I think XCAT is just gonna go crazy once they fully develop that function, or that plugin, I should say, for YouTube, to allow people like yourself who watch like Crypto Talk Now to have the ability to do a watch to earn. Like, you're just doing the same thing you normally do, but it's watch to earn. And of course, it benefits you and it benefits us. That hasn't been 100% implemented. I have been following that. I've been watching that. I shouldn't say like super, closely like a hawk, but I always check back in with that because it's something I wanted to bring to CTN in the future. And of course, we always mention Chili's. I mean, shoot, I saw Chili's pull back to 18 cents. Should have got in at 18 cents, but I thought it was going to tank even more. Again, perfect example. You can't guess the bottom. That is a perfect example. Whether it's me or other people saying to ourselves, oh, it's going to tank more, and it didn't. And now our new, support line for Chili's is basically just that. It's to 21 to 23 cent mark, right? So it's like, oh boy. I still have to say it's worth getting into Chili's, especially with the World Cup coming up. But again, when you think you're going to predict bottom, you're not going to get it. Probably 9 times out of 10, or in some cases, higher than that, right? Okay, let's kick it back into the comments, and we'll go from there. Just a moment. And while we're doing that, I'm actually gonna see. Oh, I see a couple super. There's a super chat. All right, just a second. Let's see here. There's a couple announcements. So the first one, even though I can't highlight for some reason, it's from Edward Vincent. He states, Crypto Talk Now will live on for generations to come. These episodes will continue to develop and grow into the vision for the network. Thanks, Max and Larry plus all. Well, thank you, Edward. And Edward has been a Crypto Talk Now network member for 3 months. So thank you so much, Edward. Bravo to you and everybody else that are members. And then let's go down to the next one, which is a super chat. Thank you to Mike Cornwell for the $2 super chat. Max, Twitter DM, 2 links about mass adoption /bank. Okay, sounds good. Let me get to that. Just going to do the share tab on this one. And let's see. There we go. All right, guys, this comes straight from Mike Cornwell. And you said 2 DM links. Okay. All right. So this is the first one. I think. Okay. It might be slightly different. Let me just double check. And there's this one. So I'm just gonna do the regular share. Sorry about that. Let's do it. All right. So there's this one. It's from Mike Cornwell. This was posted yesterday, guys, so it's still pretty recent. This comes from the block. Coinbase successfully registers with the Dutch Central Bank. That's very cool. And guys, yesterday's show, we covered the whole thing of how the Netherlands, right? If you're Dutch, you're from the Netherlands, just in case you didn't know that. The Netherlands, aka Holland, wherever you want to call it. They fully embraced XRP is one of the things we covered yesterday. And of course, now we see this where it says Coinbase successfully registers with the Dutch Central Bank. All right. So key takeaways, like what it says right here on a quick take, Coinbase registered, of course, with the Dutch Central Bank. The global exchange joins over 30 other crypto asset providers on the register. Global crypto exchange Coinbase has successfully registered with the Dutch Central Bank. And of course, they want us to see this. Hello to you too. Wow. All right. It says the company announced on Thursday opening the firm's products and services to the Netherlands with full regulatory approval. Coinbase is added on to a list of more than 30 other crypto asset service providers on the National Central Bank's register. The company joins other exchanges such as OKCoin and Bitstamp. Rival exchange Binance was fined 3.3 million, not dollars. I think that's actually, I don't know what that is. Is it euros? Looks like euros. Early this summer for failing to obtain this registration. Coinbase is formally supported in a total of 40 European countries, with its European branch registration based in Ireland. It is seeking to continue expanding and collecting licenses in, quote, several major markets. The European Union's comprehensive regulatory framework focused on centralized crypto asset providers completed its negotiations in the European institutions this week. Oh, wow. Okay. This harmonizes licensing requirements across the 27 state bloc and paves the way for exchanges to operate in Europe. This is awesome. This is, I think, what he's mentioning about when it comes to the adoption, right? So this is really, really good. Thanks for sharing this with us, Mike. I'm glad that you did. And let's see what you have on that second one. All right. Close that part. So it says Singapore's largest bank expands into Bitcoin, crypto trading to 100,000 more clients. Following the release of Singapore's digital asset framework, the country's largest bank expanded its members-only digital exchange to 100,000 more clients. DBS Group Holdings excuse me. DBS Group Holdings expands Bitcoin and crypto trading to 100,000 of its wealthiest clients. The bank requires capital requirements and a minimum investment of $500. Okay, that's not too bad though. The expansion follows the Central Bank of Singapore's release of a digital asset framework from earlier this month. DBS Group Holdings Limited, Singapore's largest bank, expanded its Bitcoin and cryptocurrency trading services on its member-only exchange to an additional 100,000 of its wealthiest clients, per a report from Bloomberg. Accredited investors, meaning clients with investable assets of at least 246,000, can now buy, sell, and trade Bitcoin and some cryptocurrencies. Additionally, the bank requires a minimum investment of $500. Previously, this service was limited to corporate and institutional investors, family offices, clients of DBS Private Bank, and those of DBS Treasurer's private client. The bank reportedly witnessed its digital assets exchange double in transaction volume between April and June. Wow. Now think about that, right? Think about this. And you know, I think this is why I know this is a little bit different, right? But you know, I talk about Clearpool every so often. And with them, they really stand out in DeFi, right? So especially when it comes to them, you know, the whole concept of being able to provide, for instance, like I guess you could say, you know, to provide capital to some of these, you know, venture firms and whatnot. In the past, all this was set up for like the elites, if you will. And I know some of you guys might be thinking, well, not necessarily. Hear me out. There's a thing a while back that Clearpool pointed out in which, you know, you as, I guess you could say, like a retail investor, you would never be able to, you know, take on some of the rewards like you are able to take on now when it comes to crypto. You look at the old school approach of how things were done long before crypto, right? It was kind of like a, you know, for the elites, if you will, how they went about business, if you will. That was all like a, you know, it wasn't an inclusive type of thing, right? So when I see, you know, the likes of like what happened with, you know, with Clearpool and how, you know, was it Jane Street that came on board? What was it, last March, I believe, something like that. And It became the first in Wall Street, like the first Wall Street powerhouse to select, a crypto asset, in DeFi, hence Clearpool, right? They borrowed something like $50 million, something like that. It's a crazy amount. And the first one ever to do that from Wall Street. And of course, they picked Clearpool. My thing was, wow, this is totally like you could see the pendulum shifting in a different direction. Where I'm going with this is this. This also kind of reminds me of this. So, like it mentions previously, the service was limited to corporate and institutional investors. It's just that, and you keep seeing these type of things pop up, like where they were only available to those super elite, right? So that was the point I was just basically trying to make. Maybe I do a great job expressing that tonight. You also keep in mind, like, it's just been a incredibly long day. But anyway, it says, previously the service was limited to corporate and institutional investors, family offices, clients of DBS Private Bank, and to those of DBS Treasurer's private client. The bank reportedly witnessed its digital assets exchange double in transaction volume between April and June. Even more noteworthy, Bitcoin transactions alone nearly quadrupled. However, while the bank is increasing its volume size in the greater ecosystem and is expanding its services to a broader range of investors, Singapore as a whole is still deciding on which direction to go concerning retail investors. And there's a little bit more on this. It states, earlier this month, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, which is MAS, the country's central bank, released a statement reiterating that retail investors should not invest in the asset class. It's funny. I want to take a positive, let's just say it's funny. But in a way, it's not funny, haha. It's funny. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, think about, Brad Garlinghouse and XRP. He's pointed out before that their focus with XRP, or I should say Ripple in general, is not the retail investor, right? And we talked a little bit about that last night, but like, it's not just what he mentioned yesterday on that, brief little interview on Fox Business, but he's made it clear in the past that their focus was never the retail market. And if you're new to all this, you may be thinking, well, then what's the whole point? The whole point is this. We see some of these things posted, like what we just mentioned in this outline provided by Mike Cornwell. It's just that. I'm going to state again, right? Earlier this month, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, MAS, the country's central bank, released a statement reiterating that retail investors should not invest in the asset class. Here's the thing. So, whether it's XRP, whether it's some of these other ones that we were, talking about, the mass adoption of crypto is going to mainly happen not through us, and you may feel as though, is that bad? Like, I'm new to this. It's not bad, because it's going to happen whether we are doing it or not. Like, like Mike pointed out a long time ago, you take your debit card, you'll literally swipe that thing to pay for goods and services and have no idea that it's actually tied into crypto. This is basically how we'll get to these huge, trillions and trillions of dollars in the overall crypto market, because you will see the huge influx of money basically being taken on, I should say, with all the cross-border payments. I mean, when we're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars, like, I don't know, is it like $5 trillion done in one day? Maybe even more, right? That is how we get to these insane price levels for our tokens / coins. That's how we also get to mass adoption, maybe even long before 2030, right? Lots of people are hoping that, 50% of the world. Which 50% of the world? Is it 50% of the world of retail investors? No, it's not. It's going to be mainly on the financial sector, right? Because that, of course, makes sense. So I just wanted to kind of reiterate some of that and some of these statements that you see here. So it states also, the prices of cryptocurrency fluctuate widely, and investors stand to lose all the monies they have put into cryptocurrencies, the MAS said. Still, after the aforementioned warning, the MAS released its digital asset framework, spanning well into 2025, where the regulatory stated its plans to enable digital currency connectivity through a plant named Project Orchid. We'll have to look more into Project Orchid, of course, later on down the road. Within the framework, the MAS also plans to explore distributed ledger technology. Again, think about what quant is all about, right? Asset tokenization and cross-border payments. Again, quant, right? Not just quant, XRP, I get it, but that's really spells quant to me. Thus, while the future of Bitcoin and retail investors remains unclear in Singapore, the issue is clearly not being ignored. Okay, and you could check out more on some of this from Bitcoin Magazine if you want. If you want to look more into that Bloomberg report, as well as I think there was one other thing that they had. Maybe I missed it earlier. I guess it didn't. Oh yeah, here we go. If you want to read more about the statement that reiterates that retail investors should not invest in the asset class, of course, you're welcome to do so. A little bit more about the digital asset framework is right there on bitcoinmagazine.com. Just simply type in the topic of Singapore's largest bank expands Bitcoin, and it'll take you right there. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing that. Thank you for the reporting from Mike Cornwell that we were able to bring to everybody. Really appreciate that. And thank you once again for the $2 super chat. All right, let's see what we have next. I was going to have a quick drink. Because being out in the hot sun all day makes you really, really thirsty. All right. But yeah, thanks again, Mike, for the $2 super chat and pointing that out. Mr. Jeff Pruden, Ninja Star. Whoa, Maximus. Something to talk about. Coinbase being sued is pretty big news. Okay. I don't know. I'll have to research that a little bit more, but maybe we'll talk about it on the show. I don't know. Other news, Ethereum boss Big V, as in Vitalik, is trying to move Dogecoin into proof of stake. Is that what's going on with Dogecoin? Why it's doing all right? Because you know what? How is that? You know what? I'll have to take a deeper dive into that. That is going to take a lot longer than just, coming on here and winging it. I'm not going to wing it. I don't like winging anything, really. But we'll look more into that. So maybe that's what's going on with the price of Dogecoin. If that is the case, I'm definitely going to hold on to my Dogecoin maybe a little bit longer. But you know what? I also want to see if the rewards for mining are going to be, they're going to have to be significantly, well, hold on. Other news, Ethereum boss Big V is trying to move Dogecoin to proof of stake. Oh, my bad. I read that wrong. I thought it said proof of work for some reason. Of course, that wouldn't be mining because technically speaking, you can mine Dogecoin, but if they move it 100, was it going to be 100%? Do you even know? So I'm not trying to say you don't, but like, is there an option for a fork or anything like that? Or is it just going to be, I don't know how that'll work because I mean, they're on their own. Technically, Dogecoin is its own blockchain. And if you mine Dogecoin, you get rewarded with Litecoin as well. So I don't know. I have to look more into that. Especially, since it's proof of stake. And then obviously, Ethereum, the whole thing of going from proof of work to proof of stake. So I apologize, guys, if I'm not 100% sharp tonight. It's just been, like not having enough sleep lately is kind of catching up to me. Bull Run Ready, how do you guys feel about Doge to Mars? You're going to have to ask me about that. Everybody knows where I stand on Doge to Mars. Not against. I think it has a great community. I just, no utility. Ninja Star, I love the whole idea of Doge. Elon Mars, the comic book was cheesy. The idea of being the first interplanetary cryptocurrency was a good try. I'm hoping for the best for the project. Okay. Legrand Commission. Gotta run. See you guys later. Understand. Legrand. Catch you next time. Mike Cornwell, that pop up while you was reading about Coinbase was FinTech ISO 222. Oh, wow. Okay. Didn't know that. Raul Castillo, what's up, my brother? Good job. Thank you, Raul. Never seen you before. Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't. But nonetheless, consider changing your avatar to something that speaks more about who you are and what you're all about. I'd like to, of course, give you a formal welcome, especially from myself, to you, welcoming you, of course, to Crypto Talk Now. And guys, give them the warm CTN welcome on behalf of Crypto Talk Now, especially myself. I of course, want to welcome you again. If you have any questions or comments, don't feel bashful. Whether you're a new investor, seasoned veteran of investing in crypto and so on, we have a very welcoming community. Guys and gals, give him the warm welcome. All right, Selmo Fudd. We are still early in the game. Learn what you can because mass adoption will be here in the blink of an eye. Yep, I feel that way too. The digital dollar is coming. Just be prepared and position yourself. Now is the time. Now, I do see the other super chat that came in, and I want to state this. All right. For those who are completely new to all of this, you see these things mentioned, mass adoption, and you may be intimidated by it. So when somebody like Selma Fuzz says, learn what you can because mass adoption will be here in the blink of an eye, you may be kind of taken back like, what are these guys talking about? What do you mean mass adoption in the blink of an eye? And what's this guy talking about? The market cap, the overall crypto market cap going from, close to $1 trillion to like, 100 trillion with a switch being flipped on. That's impossible. Where it becomes possible is when your cryptos have solid, true utility and they're tied into actual real money, as in like financial sectors, like central banks of Europe, Asia Pacific markets, those type of things. If your crypto is moving physical money and is doing it way faster than the old system, that in itself is not just worth a little bit, it's worth a heck of a lot more than we could possibly fathom. That is what we're talking about. So this is also, imagine like what Selmo said, learn what you can because mass adoption will be here in the blink of an eye. The digital dollar is coming. Just be prepared yourself. Now is the time. And you may be thinking, well, if there's a digital dollar, I'm still lost. Why in the world would I want to be involved in crypto? Because certain crypto assets have their own utility. And that is tied into the whole thing of the digital dollars, the CBDCs, having a more effective way of, things, how the cross-border payments work, all that. Look more into it. If you need help, we can, of course, help you with that and understanding it. Just drop us some questions. We're glad to be here. And, of course, want to just go ahead and welcome all those who just joined as well. And let's see, he bull run ready. Got to go. See you guys later. Peace out, Max and Larry. See you on the next one. All right. Glad to have you here tonight. Mike Horn with a $2 super chat. These articles are popping up all over. Get ready, ISO. Yeah, ISO is going to be huge especially for November. I think that's just going to be the start of it. For people who say, we're not going to get into the bull run until, I don't know, maybe 2023. I think we might see a glimpse of it, and it starts off with these ISOs. Will it be enough to carry us over into 2023 and start like a huge, massive bull run? Possibly. But thanks again for the $2 super chat, Mike Cornwell. Appreciate it, man. I see our numbers picked up a little bit. That's great. Maybe we'll have it go a little bit longer. Carrie Akashian, not to be confused with Kim Kardashian, says, hey, well, hello. I'd like to welcome you. I haven't seen you before. Thanks for having a custom avatar and whatnot. Guys, let's go ahead and welcome her. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in the comments. And guys, let's give her the warm Crypto Talk Now network welcome. Ninja Star, aka Jeff Pruden. Law. Coinbase patent infringement. Oh no. Okay. Bring the news up. Well, hold on. Let me just hold your horses. I'll get there. Menelec, coins that will survive will move to proof of stake before regulations. Okay. Let me see. I'm just trying to get to a little bit more further down, Jeff, but I'll try to pull it up. Hello, Raul Castillo. Thank you. What do you think about VVS? We talked a little bit about it before. I have a decent sized bag of that. I've been staking for, I don't know, maybe about a year on the DeFi app. I don't know. I mean, I'm still kind of gung ho about it, but not as much as I used to be. However, I do feel as though VVS does very well in a bull market. Doesn't exactly do that great in a bear market, but of course, buying opportunities and what the bear market. Prepare yourself for, just like the thumbnail says, the bull market, right? So, yeah, VVS does very well. At least it did before in the bull market. All right. So I'm gonna read a few more, even though I might not get caught up. Now look, I'm joining the quant pump. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not like huge, like parabolic or anything, but it's quant. I mean, we'll eventually get to where we need to be. But yeah, I think I last saw it at like 114. Max P, happy Friday, everyone. Yep, right back at you. Mike Cornwell, I wouldn't sell quant at 1,000. Hold on, I wouldn't sell a quant at $1,000 each. I'm not. I'm looking at like 100,000 or more. That's why I want to get at least 10. I preferably want to get 20 because I'm also trying to account for freaking taxes. You know what I mean? So, happy Friday. Thank you. Menelect, it's important for newbies to learn about utility coins first because those are the best initial investments and will help new investors avoid rug pull scams and scam coins. Yeah, good point. And speaking of good point, literally, Samo Fudd is pointing to what you said. So literally a good point. And another person pointing up. Yeah, you guys making good points. Anyway, it's funny. I beat you all to it. Yep. ISO 222 is a messaging standard, but the simultaneous movement of value is what drives the ISO compliant coin's value. Yeah. It's good points you always have. You guys welcome her. Thank you so much for doing that. If EVS is still building out its ecosystem during the bear market, it bodes well. That's the whole thing. I need to find out what's going on a little bit more with them. Hopefully they're doing just that. In recent months, in my opinion, was it MM Finance? Was it the Mirror Cat or where it was called? To me, they had more to offer. Compared to the some of these other ones, and then on top of, compared to like VVS, some of you guys are into Tectonic. I think Tectonic might even have a little bit more, currently speaking, to offer than VVS, because let's face it, those three really stand out when it comes to the staking rewards. And I think that for the most part, that's why people get into it. All right, but some good points you guys posted. All right, Menelect. And of course, Jeff, I'll get into some of that news here in a bit. What we used to do was when Larry was on the show before, I would do impersonations in the past, and you poke me with a virtual stick. Max, do the Mike Tyson. Remember that back in the day? Do this, Max. I want you to do that. Okay, I'll do it. Now I guess the new thing is, Max, go read the news. Go read this specific news. Max, yes, Jeff. Yes, I'll do it. All right. You get the point. All right. Anyway, 100,000 per quant is the floor, and I full expect quant to eventually be in the hundreds of thousands each. So 10 quant is a life-changing investment. Thank you. I'm literally looking to get anywhere from 10 to 20 quant. I'm not even to 10 yet. I will be, I don't know, probably like in a few months or less. So my thing is, I look at quant like this, Berkshire Hathaway. Yeah, I know it's a crazy comparison, but am I too far off? Maybe you know where I'm going with this. So it's like, that person that, was around a long time ago, like, was it like, I don't know, May of 1965, if you could have invested in Berkshire Hathaway, and, put in whatever you could have afforded to put in, that shot up to I mean, what's Berkshire Hathaway even up to right now? Let me take a look. Oh, I'm just going to type it in real quick. So Berkshire Hathaway stock, 404,485. Man, I mean, I know that's a huge difference compared to like 100,000 quant, right? Like if quant was worth 100,000 a coin. But I'm kind of looking at it from that perspective. You know, some people look at it from the Bitcoin perspective. I'm also looking at it from that perspective. Like I've always wanted, everybody, of course, wishes they could have invested in Berkshire Hathaway a long, long time ago. To a sense, this quant's like Berkshire Hathaway of crypto in a way, not completely, but you know, it's going to be way, way up there. So I would agree with you on that. Let's see here. Crypto Talk Now VR. No thanks. Yeah, I saw you a long time. Are you talking about quant? I can't remember. Because I remember a long time ago you said you didn't want to buy any quant. Like where you're like, oh, I missed the boat on quant. I don't know. Maybe I'm misinterpreting what you said. All right. So let's see here. Going to go back to Mr. Pruden, who basically wants me to look into the Coinbase patent infringement. And if he doesn't do that, he refuses to talk about Jessica Alba with me late at night on the post show. So I better go ahead and basically get more into that. But before we do, Summer Flood says, Warren Buffett, smart man who lives in a frugal lifestyle. When he speaks, people listen and follow his lead. I know I am. Okay, cool. All right, let's see if I could pull that up with the whole thing of Coinbase patent infringement. Let's see. Coinbase patent infringement. All right, I guess it was posted not that long ago. All right, let's do it. So Coinbase sued for patent infringement. This comes from Reuters, or I could do CoinDesk. You know, I'm gonna go with Reuters. Reuters and CoinDesk are both pretty good, but let's just go with Reuters. Excuse me. All right. Yeah, Coinbase sued for patent infringement over crypto transfer technology. Again, this was posted about 8 hours ago. Two key takeaways. Lawsuit says several Coinbase services infringe blockchain patent. Seeks $350 million. Jeez. Plaintiff, Verutasuium, can't even pronounce it right now, settled SEC charges over its cryptocurrency token. Reuters states cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase Global Inc. is facing a patent lawsuit related to its digital trading technology brought by a crypto company whose digital token offering led to a settlement with the U.S. Security and Exchange. I'm so used to reading that, guys. I apologize. Offering led to a settlement with the U.S. security regulators in 2019. I've been reading the whole thing with the SEC for so long. It just naturally just rolls off the tongue, you know. So bear with me. The lawsuit filed Thursday by Verutasium, I can't even pronounce that, and I'm good at pronouncing things. Capital LLC in Delaware federal court claims Coinbase infringed a patent awarded to Verutasium founder Reggie Middleton, not to be confused with basketball great Chris Middleton, by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office last December. We're just going to call it V Capital, okay? V Capital accused several Coinbase services, including its blockchain infrastructure, for validating transactions of infringing the patent. It asked the court for at least $350 million in damages. Well, as you know, they're not going to get the full 350, even if they do win. Coinbase, one of the world's largest platforms for trading cryptocurrency, did not immediately respond to requests for comment on Friday. Well, yeah. V formally issued the token Viri, and then it states, in 2019, Middleton and two of his V entities paid the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Now it says it, geez, more than $9.4 million, including a $1 million penalty against Middleton himself to settle charges of, quote, a fraudulent scheme to sell the the tokenin. I think it's a typo. 2017 and 2018. Okay. The SEC had accused them of misleading investors about demand for the tokens and manipulating their price. Among other things, they agreed to the settlement without denying or admitting to the underlying charges. Middleton and V argued to a Brooklyn federal court earlier in 2019 that they did not make any fraudulent statements, that the tokens were not securities. Well, of course, they don't want to get into the whole thing that, like XRP is still going through, and that trading. Hold on. The tokens were not securities, and that trading at issue was. I don't know. That still doesn't. I kind of question who wrote this in a way. Anyway, actually, an effort by Mr. Middleton to test out a new online cryptocurrency exchange. Okay. Man, once I get to, okay. All right, we'll read this last part because I'm starting to wonder, like, how long is this? Nothing against it. It's just sometimes it's like kind of drags on. All right, V's website says it builds blockchain-based peer-to-peer capital markets as software on a global scale. Thursday's lawsuit accuses Coinbase features include its website, mobile app, and Coinbase Cloud pay and wallet services of infringement, a patent covering a secure method for processing digital currency transactions. Okay. V Capital attorney Carl Brundage Stanger. What is up with this company? This name, Veraticium Capital's attorney Carl Brundage of Brundage Stanger. My God. Said Friday that Coinbase was uncooperative. Yeah, I'd be uncooperative a little bit with you too, with a name like that. My goodness. Anyway, I'm not getting all might bust out a Larry on this one. Like, I don't even care what his freaking name is. You can roll back up into his ball of whatever. Anyway, when they try to sell out of court. All right. Middleton and V separately sued T-Mobile. Oh, God, here we go. In 2020, alleging the telecom company's security lapses led to hackers stealing $8.7 million in crypto from them. T-Mobile contested the claims, and the case was sent to arbitration in August. Oh, my gosh. Oh, boy. Okay. The case is V Capital LLC versus Coinbase Global Inc., U.S. District Court for the District of Delaware. And, of course, here's the case number for V. Carl. I'm not going to say that guy's name anymore. And David Moore of that name and Stanger. For Coinbase, not available. Well, I'm glad they have some crazy name. Man, these guys' names, my goodness. Jeez. All right. Well, thanks for that, Mr. Pruden. Let's get back to the comments. Let me see. Where? Oh my gosh, I'm in that farther down. All right, here we go. Ninja Star is laughing because I just basically got poked by him. Mike Cornwell, Warren Buffett hates crypto, so you ain't listening too much. Lol. Yeah, I know he doesn't like crypto, but from the old school approach, he freaking nailed it. Ninja Star, Warren Buffett is a pretty smart man. I'm sure you missed him flip the script on Bitcoin market cap, and he's recently in the last year turned a new leaf and is starting to believe in crypto. Oh, really? Huh. I could have swore the last one that he said he's still against it, but I believe it. His arse will have to adopt like everyone else, and he will see the benefit if he's even going to be around that long, right? Knowing him, he probably lived to be over 100, though. I mean, how old is he? Like 94, 96? Let me see. Warren Buffett. Not to be confused with Jimmy Buffett. He's 92. Okay, my bad. Net worth $93.8 billion. Jeez. You're pointing up. Mike Avila says, yo, straight from Oklahoma City. Good to see you, Mike. Thanks for joining us. Ninja Star, welcome to the show. We're about to move on to Discord live channel if you want to join us. Dude's so happy. A dead case against Coinbase. Huh. Dude's so happy. I'm not getting tricked here, am I? Anyway. Vincent and Badir. Crypto Talk Now VR. Just for clarity, sir, I like quant. All right. I guess I got that confused with something. I apologize. Let's see. Jeff Pruden. Good news. In our red. Pushing hard in the critical straight. And the news as well. And Big V pushing Dogecoin into proof of stake. That was my Jeff Pruden impersonation. Sometimes how he comes across on Discord. It's no offense, my friend. It's just a lot of times your internet gets chopped and then it's like packet files, back in like the early days of DSL, right? So it's like these packets being sent all at once of all the information, boom. So like it takes everything you said and just kind of, delivers it like that. Anyway. Mr. Pruden, every time I poke you, giggle so I enjoy it. Wow. All right. Well, I've been called some things, obviously, in the past. Fathead crypto, the floating fathead, and I guess now I'm officially the Pillsbury Doughboy of crypto. All right. I could take it. It's all right. All right. Crypto Talk Now VR. Apparently, my phone didn't send comments. Okay. When I was mobile, I stayed there. All right. Happy to be here. Thanks, Mike. Prudent. Why would you use a horrible voice like that? I don't know. Sorry. Unlike the rock, Mike Cornwell. Unlike the Rockefellers that live forever, drinking the blood of children. Wall. Yeah. Micaville, boom, boom in the 405 Cleveland County here. Huh. All right. Crypto Talk Now VR. I asked a random redneck that works at the Dollar General if he would accept some cryptocurrency for me. He said, no, thanks. Wow. I mean, how did you deliver that? Did you try to sound like a redneck yourself? I mean, were you like, all right, listen here. I got this Mononoke Inu, and I see you got some of that 99-cent skills in the box. I'll tell you what, I'll give you exactly 2.5 trillion of these Mononoke Inu, and if it goes to the moon, it'll be worth a lot more than those box of Skittles. And you probably just look at you like, no siree, Bob. All right. Ninja Star, Humpty quit the team because everybody says he talks too much. So, huh? Oh, that's for real? That sucks. I mean, I would give it to him for free. Jeez. Yep, Pillsbury Doughboy Crypto. That's apparently me. One of these times we're going to have a segment. It's going to be, of course, me with the floating head again. And instead of saying DYOR, it's going to say DYOR, and it's going to show me coming out of like one of those like sobriety meetings or whatever. It's going to show me coming out of like this thing, and in the background, like, you can see a bunch of chairs and desks and stuff like that. And instead of me being in a library, it's going to show my thumbnail, or me in the thumbnail, of course. And the background is going to show like a bunch of like cakes and like fried chicken and like greasy burgers and just like all sorts of stuff like that. And on the door that swings open where I come out of it with my notebook and stuff in the thumbnail is basically just going to say Crypto Talk Now with Fathead Crypto, aka the floating head of FFA. And you could just figure that out for yourself. All right. Please take my Mononoke Inus from me. Yep. I didn't say that. Yes, you did. I did say something to that extent. Yep, you did. No, he didn't. Yes, you did. And Mike Cornwell, everyone in the show. Okay. And Ninja Star, Humpty didn't quit. That's good news. Well, that is good news. All right. Edward Vincent. Max, have you ever heard of the concept about someone projecting their insecurities? Like personal insecurities? Like just in general? Like, I'm not comfortable or what am I talking about? Yeah, people are insecure about certain things. Like some people that you're in a relationship, you mean? Like, they're not comfortable with their girlfriend, I don't know, talking to, or a girlfriend's not comfortable with a guy talking to, women, I guess, or something. I don't know. I mean, to a sense, that's insecure. Or I don't want you to go hang out with your guy friends because you should be spending more time with me or something. Like insecurities like that. Is that what you meant? Anyway, it means that Jeff says, Vincent, all right, hold on a second. It's saying that he thinks of himself as a doughboy. No, because he was trying to poke me earlier. Like, and I make the funny noise. You see what I'm saying? That's not me projecting my insecurities. I'm just trying to. Never mind. Mentalite, did anyone buy crypto today? I didn't buy today, but I bought last week. I'm gonna buy more next Friday or Saturday. Today, payday, Mentalite. I hope. Yep, that's a good point. Drop a K on ISO 2022. Probably. Ninja Star, you're dumb, Edward. I didn't say that, lol. All right. Well, you guys, looks like we're probably going to hold on a second. Mela, payday is a good day to acquire XRP. I agree. All right, you guys are having a little thing. All right, I am going to basically wrap up the show. Man, I gotta get in the habit of putting this up right here at the bottom. I should always do that at the very beginning. And even this, Patches says smash the like button. There's some other ones. I see all the crazy ones. Our family goal tonight is one back in the good old days. How about this one? Please like and subscribe, not financial advice. Well, let me see if it shows that. Doesn't it show? Oh, okay. Well, this is the one I always want to have up. All right. I'll probably read a few more comments and then I'm done. We're done. Or something. Hold on, let me see. Menelect, it's been a pleasure. Good night, all. Yep. Have a good night, Menelect. Last comment, Edward Vincent. Someone is about to get some free freaking chicken, as in Chick-fil-A. All right, cool. Well, guys, that wraps up the show here. It's going to have a closing thing I want to state with everybody, and that is, sometimes we have days like this. Let's face it, it's a Friday night, and sometimes people are just tired and want to maybe go out with their friends or just watch Netflix or whatever the heck you're doing. And that's fine, but we'll be back tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, roughly in that time. Sometimes, we start maybe at 6:10, 6:15, just to kind of, like for me personally, the reason why I didn't start right at 6 is because literally was just barely getting home. I was stuck kind of like out in traffic. Larry gave me a call up. But yeah, there's circumstances like that. Everybody has, all sorts of different circumstances, but, we'll be glad to be here. Hopefully I can get some recorded videos out. I want to get that YouTube algorithm kind of thing kicking in. But yeah, that's what's going on. And thank you again for joining us tonight. We'll, of course, keep a close eye on the likes of Luna Classic, as always, and try to find out more about what's going on with some of these ISOs. So one more time, have a blessed night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Over and out for now. Oh, not over and out yet. My goodness. I have to recognize the 99 super chat from Mike Cornwell. And April Cornwell says goodbye. Thank you so much to you both. I'll read a few more comments. Great show, Max. Thank you, Samo Fudd. Edward Vincent. Mike Cornwell, later Brethren Max. Mr. Pruden. Everybody. I'll see you guys on the post show here in a bit. I'm actually going to go right directly to there. And it's Friday. It's the best day of the week. As Aaliyah once said, it's Friday and I'm ready to sing. Pick up my girls, do my party thing tonight. Anyway, wish I could sing. I can't. Anyway, RIP to Aaliyah, my all-time favorite R&B hip-hop singer. Have a great night, everybody. I'm out.